Hi, beautiful people. Welcome to the Fort Salem Library, where we read you your fanfiction. So sit down or don't, relax or don't, and enjoy these stories in a way you have not before. We at Fort Salem Library do not own Motherland Fort Salem or any of the related characters. The Motherland Fort Salem series is created by Elliot Lawrence and owned by Freeform. This story is a work of fanfiction and is meant for entertainment only. We are not making any profit from these stories. All rights of the original Motherland Fort Salem story belong to Freeform. We also do not own Until Morning or any of its original characters and storylines. We did, however, get permission from the author to read their story. This story was created and written by JordanUnbroken, and you can find the link on our show notes. This story is being read to you by me, Britt. Until Morning, Chapter 13. Scylla awoke with her face stuck to leather. She peeled herself off of what she realized was Riel's couch. Scylla wiped the drool from her mouth and looked around the loft. "Hey, good morning. There's coffee if you want." A voice came from the dining table behind her. Riel was sitting in her wheelchair, now dressed in a black t-shirt and gray sweatpants. "Hey," Scylla spoke, her voice thick with sleep. "I slept here?" "We fell asleep watching the movie. I had Tally move me to my bed when she came in. It was late when I realized, so I just let you sleep. I hope that was okay." "Yeah, I just didn't mean to impose. I don't normally fall asleep like that." "It was no imposition. There's a spare toothbrush on the bathroom sink for you, and I made some coffee. I can pop you in some toast if you like." "Sure, I'll take you up on that toothbrush. Be right back." Scylla got off the couch and hurried into the bathroom, appraising herself in the mirror. She was glad that her hair wasn't a complete disaster. Her eyeliner was another story, however, and she took a couple of makeup remover wipes out of a package on the counter to dab at her face. No makeup was better than looking like a sad raccoon. There was also a pink toothbrush, as promised. She used the toothbrush, but instead of throwing it away, she set it in the holder next to the two others. Scylla quickly finger-combed her hair, scrunching the ends a little, and then took a deep breath before opening the bathroom door. Riel was taking some toast out of the toaster. "Want butter? We have jam and honey, too." "Butter and honey, thank you." Scylla took a mug hanging from the other side of the cabinet and filled it with coffee. "There's some oat milk in the fridge, and there's sugar in the tin over there," Riel pointed. "Just black for me. Us surgeons have more coffee in our blood than platelets." "Ah, yes, one of the main food groups. I forgot." "Precisely." Scylla spoke as she took her small plate of toast to the table. "So, what have you been doing during your days to keep busy?" "Mostly doing my best Rear Window impression with my camera, and playing video games. Tally's been doing her best, but she's been going a little stir-crazy staying home with me. She actually went grocery shopping this morning." "Wow, your fridge actually having food. I'm surprised." "I know, it's shocking. I'll actually have to cook for you sometime." "Oh yeah?" Scylla smiled at the implication of another evening with Riel. "How do you feel about mac and cheese? Or I can put together a salad?" Riel offered teasingly. Maybe we can cook together sometime? What's your favorite?" "I'll eat anything, really. Whatever I can't burn." Scylla looked down at her plate. "Seems you master toast." Riel laughed. "Yeah, that I can handle." Scylla polished off the last sip of her coffee. "I should go. Thank you for your hospitality." Scylla took her dishes to the sink, turning around and leaning against it for a moment. "It was nice having you here, Scylla." "About your mom. I'll call my lawyer and see what we can do. I'll write an impact statement and see if we can get things moving." Riel was quiet for a moment. "I should probably talk to her," she said, rubbing the back of her neck. "I can have my lawyer send her something if you aren't ready." Scylla spoke evenly. She didn't want to push Riel. "No, I should do it in person. This is big, Riel nodded once. Maybe I'll have my dad pick me up and I can see her in person. I'm not sure I can explain all of this over the phone. Tally is busy Saturday anyway. He was going to babysit me. Will you let me know how it goes? Of course. Okay. Let me get out of your hair. Scylla walked over and slipped her jacket on. Don't forget your containers. I washed them. Riel rolled over to the counter and handed her the tote bag she brought, now with empty dishes. Thanks. See you later? Scylla left Riel with a small wave. A message rolled onto Scylla's phone lock screen. Cards, my place, bring cash. Scylla read the text from Abigail. You're on, she replied. A night with her friends is just what she needed after an emotional evening with Riel. As easy as it's been to talk to her, there was always a weight between them. Every time she looked into Riel's eyes, it seemed like there was something left unsaid. Scylla put on a lacy black top, dark jeans and her leather jacket, with a pocket full of $1 bills. Game night wasn't something they did often, but it was always a good time. Scylla knocked on Abigail's door. Abigail answered, pulling her friend into a hug. Glad you could make it. Hey, I brought spinach and artichoke dip. Scylla lifted the warm dish and a bag of chips. I've been stress baking. Scylla set the dip on the counter and turned towards the table. And Akashi and Adil were sitting down, parceling out poker chips. How's it going? Her friends talked about their days at work, and Akashia's new girlfriend and how Abigail and Adil were going to go to a cabin for a weekend away. It's going to be nice to get out of Dodge for a bit. What are you doing this weekend, Syl? Abigail nudged her. I'm not sure yet. Scylla rearranged the cards in her hand. How did your dinner with Riel go? And Akastia asked. Scylla let out a sigh. Actually, it went pretty great. I stayed a night. Abigail nearly spat her wine into her lap. You did what? I knew there was something else going on. Abigail turned toward Adil. I told you. Adil silently slid his girlfriend $5 with a slight blush. You're taking bets on my love life? Scylla wasn't sure whether to be embarrassed or angry. Just a little one. So, what happened? Abigail paused. Wait, how did it happen? Her legs were broken last time I checked. Nothing happened. Scylla became defensive. I fell asleep on her couch when we were watching a movie. It was late, so... Abigail slid the $5 back to Adil. And Akastia jumped into the conversation. You stayed to watch a movie? I thought you were going to talk to her about her mom. We did. I'm going to try and get Willa out of prison. I already talked to a lawyer. Wow, Scylla, that's intense, Adil spoke. Yeah, can we help? Abigail asked. No, not really. It's between her and the parole board and the lawyers. I honestly want this whole thing to be over. I can't bring my parents back, but I can give Riel back her mom, or at least try to. Scylla set down her cards and took a sip of wine. That's honestly remarkable, Scylla. I'm not sure I could do that, and Akastia spoke softly. What happened? It's nobody's fault, and I feel guilty knowing there's a woman behind bars for something she didn't do. Are you going to tell the court that? Abigail's brows furrowed. No, I wouldn't want to put Riel in that position. I'm going to speak on my family's behalf, telling the court that there is no ill will towards her, that keeping a family separate isn't justice. You know the way you talk about Riel? You sure there's nothing there? Abigail gave Scylla a small smile. She's an amazing woman. She's funny and kind. She's hurt and in a wheelchair and still tries to take care of everyone. Scylla could feel the smile pulling at her lips. I'm in trouble, aren't I? She sighed. Adil passed the $5 bill back to Abigail. Please find the fanfiction you just listened to on Archive of Our Own and leave the author some love. Without them, this wouldn't be possible, and we want to thank them from the bottoms of our hearts for creating these amazing stories and keeping the show alive.